clouds in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. We're almost there, ready for the weather. It's gonna be rough. This week I'm taking you with me out here on a tournament adventure. I know some of you have kind of been wondering what goes on at a professional bass tournament. Maybe some of you have never been to one, don't really know what goes on behind the stage. You know, most of us know what happens. You weigh your bass in on stage, and there's a lot of prep work that goes into going to a bass tournament and fishing, trying to figure out how to catch the fish. And this is a special week, special experience, because I've got my dear old dad here with me. He's never been to a tournament practice with me, and basically the tournament is a week long, because we practice for 3 days and then the tournament is 3 days. So we're up here for basically a week, and we just arrived here a few hours ago, and it was a long drive up here. It was about 6 tanks of gas pulling the boat, but we're finally here, and we're at Lake Douglas up in Tennessee. It's a beautiful lake, but it's really far down. And hey, it's going to be a wild one, because this week we're supposed to have really cold temperatures, nasty weather, even snow possibly the next few days. I think it's going to be an interesting one, and I think you guys are going to enjoy kind of coming along for the experience. So we'll see what happens this week. That's kind of what is left of my tackle from last night. Stayed up until about 12:30, rigging up rods and kind of getting tackle organized. This is what I ended up with. We're gonna go see if we can catch one of these Arctic bass up here, Douglas, Tennessee. My dad's outside right now. He's realizing what he's in for, weather-wise. So I'm waiting on him to come back in.
It is snowing. It's snowing.
What's that?
It's snowing.
It's snowing?
Yeah.
You ready to fish bass tournament? Practice?
I'm not sure. Can I stay here?
We got snow. We're snow bass fishing. That's just part of it. You gotta buckle up and dive in. It's all gonna be about layers today and mental strength. Can you dig it?
I can. Let's go.
Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah. Just got a little bit intimidated by that. I know you couldn't feel that, but it is frosty. Here we are. I think I'm ready to go. I've got just about every layer I brought with me on. We're sitting in a nice little pocket out of the wind right here, but right over there it's 20-mile-an-hour winds plus gusting to 30, snow flurries. It's about 35 degrees outside. Let's go man up and see if we can catch one of these things. All right, so we are out here. This is pretty brutal. You know, I've fished in a lot of conditions earlier in the year. This is tough right here, and the water's constantly coming up. It's rising. It's muddy, cold. Some of the toughest conditions are muddy, cold water. Dad,
Yep.
what are you thinking about all this?
I'm scared. It's too cold. I don't know how the guys do it. It's unbelievable. When we were at the boat dock, the guys were bundling up and taking off. It was amazing.
It's just another day at the office, but it's going to be tough. Well, we're wrapping up day 2 practice. Wow, this is tough. I have never experienced this amount of frustration and disappointed in a practice. It's just sad. I mean, I've gone basically 2 days without catching a fish, trying everything I know, deep, shallow, different colors, different baits, doing everything I know to do to catch a bass. Dad fell in the water yesterday at the end of the day. That really didn't help the matters. The mind games start coming in. You know, you see the other guys running around. What are they doing? Are they catching fish? Do they think I'm catching fish? You know, is he throwing a crankbait? Are they biting a crankbait? Am I throwing the right color, or am I just not getting the bites here? Or am I throwing the wrong color and the fish are here and they're just not biting it? All these things start to accumulate in your head, and you have to wonder, what the heck am I doing here? You know, am I doing the right thing, or am I not doing the right thing? And from my experience, it's best to just go on your own knowledge. You know, don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing, because you're going to end up just going the wrong way in your head, because everybody has their own thing that they're doing, and maybe they think that maybe they want you to think that they're throwing a Carolina rig or something like that when they're actually catching them on something else. So stay away from the dog talk, in my opinion. But right now, it's so tough, I don't even know what to do. It's been a mental challenge, and I think the best thing to do right now is to go in and get some warm food and get rigged up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of practice. Got to stay positive. See you tomorrow. That right there, guys, is my first Lake Douglas bass, and he's so cold, so frigid. Caught him on a deep diving crankbait, but man, out here for 2 days, this is my first fish. I gotta savor it, because I may not catch another one. This has been so tough, and it just came up here to a totally different part of the lake. Maybe we're gonna get something going here. So I'm gonna keep going on the cranking, see if we can catch some fish. These fish are really healthy, I've heard, and this one really is. So see what we can do. Probably have my biggest smallmouth ever on right here. Oh, it's whipping my tail too.
Unbelievable.
How about that smallmouth? Oh man, it's about a 5-pounder right there. Woo! I'm liking it. Well guys, practice is over. It's been a long, cold 3 days. The sun finally came out here on this 3rd day. Made a different move today. Decided to go up north on the north part of the lake, and it was a good decision. We actually had some bites today, which was nice. Got to feel a Tennessee bass on the end of my line, and caught 5 fish. So it's not much to go on, but I did figure out where not to fish, and I did figure out some things to throw and some areas that are going to be productive, that look good, see fish on my graph, things like that. All that's left to do now is to go out tomorrow on game day. It's going to be 2 days, full field, and then after the 2 days, the top 15 or so will get to go to the last day. But the main goal tomorrow, catch 5 bass and head to the scales with something to weigh in, and it's going to be an interesting one. I know someone's always going to catch them out here, and we'll see who does it. I think I'm going to go get some rest, get something to eat, and get ready for tomorrow. What's happened?
Flat tire.
Whose fault was it?
It was mine.
It was nobody's fault. These things happen. Had to put a spare on the Toyota. You know, backing down the boat ramp, screws and whatnot. Got a thing in the tire. Always plan on things breaking when you go to a tournament. So we got over that obstacle. Now we got to go to registration.
myself a post to vote, to Dr. Vote during the points in the region.
Justin Bradley, Albina Wilson, 34.
You guys.
Ice in the guides on tournament day. It's cold. That's about all I can say. It's cold. Well guys, the tournament is over, at least for me. It's been a long week. The toughest conditions I've ever faced in a fishing tournament have been this week. Cold, rainy, snowing, rising water, muddy water, very drastic changes in water temperature from the week before. Just brutally tough and mentally tough. I think I caught 8 bass this week, and I'm not the only one either. It's just been a very tough week. I've been amazed how some of the guys have gone out and caught them though. You know, Ontifo, Brian Snowden, Timmy Horton, those guys, they all caught over 20, 22, 23 pounds yesterday. So just amazed how they caught them in this cold weather. I've never done good in cold weather. But I wanted to take you guys with me along so you can see kind of how it goes behind the scenes. It's not always glamorous, as you can see this week. It's just been a mental beatdown for me, frustration, but all I can do is learn from it. You know, every time you go to a tournament, you don't do well, you have to take something away from it. And this week I learned some things. I got to speak to a few anglers that helped me out a little bit with some information, things I didn't do, needed to try. And cold weather, cold water has always been my weakness, so I'll definitely go back and try to work on that. But I got to make a long trek back to Texas. It's been a very expensive trip, you know, thousands of dollars coming up here and back for everything. So every bass that I caught this week's a very expensive bass. But I'm ready to get back to Texas, have some warm water, warm weather, catch some big Texas bass, and get back in the game. So I'll catch you guys next time, and thanks for coming along for this trip. See ya.